Hello, everyone. This is Alamjeet Flora from Pothos Events. Welcome to the Wednesday Talk Show. The Wednesday Talk Show is brought to you by Pothos Event every Wednesday. We bring to you a lot of good guests who speak on various topics. Thank you for your feedback that you have been giving and finding our shows interesting. So we promise we'll keep coming up with many different topics for you. Please also feel free to suggest. Follow us on Facebook, on our YouTube channel, and keep yourself updated via Instagram as well. So today we are going to talk about impressions that we leave on people. So first impression is the last impression. It's correct in many walks of life, on a romantic date, an office interview, even for a school admission interview nowadays. How we dress up, show up, speak matters a lot. It indeed most of the time becomes the deciding factor of future we wish to live. All of us come from different backgrounds and are brought up in various cultures, with most of the times being guided by our parents, friends, relatives on what to wear, how to speak and behave. Are we even aware while taking these suggestions and while making these observations if they are relevant in our work and social life, and how it will impact our interpersonal skills? Also, in all these struggles of understanding our true self, what we really miss out on is the main point of being us and showing our personality, which is the most unique and refreshing to the world. But shouldn't we keep reinventing ourselves and adapt with the styles, the code of conducts, and the correct body language? All these awareness not only help us better in life, but we can actually become positive influence in the society. We are very glad today we have with us Ms. Dipti Dange, an international image and communication management consultant, wardrobe stylist, personal shopper, grooming strategist, and an ethique and protocol coach. She has over 16 years of experience in the field and has trained over 600 aspiring image consultants pan India. Her client profiles range from large organization group, open workshops, individual clients, corporates, and many women group. So all of you, welcome Dipti Dange to the Wednesday Talk Show. Hi Dipti, how are you?
Hi, Alamjeet. Good evening. How are you?
I'm very well. Welcome to the Wednesday Talk Show. And
Thank you
we
so much
have,
for having me.
thank you so much. We are going to talk a lot of interesting stuff today, which I'm also very interested in. So the first question is actually, how did you from event management, stumble upon image consulting as your field?
Right. So, I think I am somebody who believes in everything happens for a reason. And though I was very young when I did events, it opened up, a lot of avenues in terms of meeting newer people and talking to most people, that were there doing the course and also on events. I did happen to land a job by just going ahead with a friend of mine for an interview. And that's how my career journey into jobs started. And communication was an aspect because I was in an outsourcing process, and we used to keep talking to clients overseas. And I think communication or talking became one of the passions. And then as I moved up the corporate ladder, I was coaching a lot of people, talking to them about what to do, what not to do in terms of work, in terms of the way they appeared. And vaguely I also remember while I was in college, I was watching what people wore, and whether it was matching. So I think bits and pieces of the puzzle kind of came together with image management for me over a period of time, in terms of the way people looked, the way they spoke, the way they carried themselves, how they could get ahead in their careers. Besides their technical skills, what is it that they are missing? So all of that is like an amalgamation, or a beautiful amalgamation to me, Alamjeet, of image management.
Great. So I think, what do you think about, personal image? And do you think that the first impression is very critical?
I think it's extremely critical in the kind of world that we are living in. Whether it was pre-COVID, post-COVID, we are all still very visual as human beings. If you will notice, the whole factor of what looks good to my eyesight, and my choices depending on what I pick are all to do with the visual. But I know that it becomes very difficult because we still are kind of bred or grown up on the thought process of seeing value of things and then deciding whether you should put money and stuff like that. So what I want to do with you is a quick quiz, Alamjit, if you'll allow me, and maybe it can be something that'll be interesting for your viewers as well. Let them do it, and I would request everybody to be very honest about what they choose. And then maybe they can, give you your responses if you can see that, and if they have questions about
Yeah,
it.
please put up your responses on the chat box. It'll be nice. Let's have fun.
Yeah. So
Okay.
just to see what comes out of the whole discussion, because I don't want to answer the question whether it is critical. I think let's just figure out for ourselves whether it is critical. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
considering it is about, I think it is about 6 o'clock in Sweden. So it will
Yes.
be a good time for me to give you all what I'm showing you. Maybe, it will just, let's see what it does. Let me not just give you enough information yet, and we'll see what it does. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So ready for your quiz?
Yeah. Okay. Can you share your screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have. I
Okay.
have. Can you
All
see
right.
it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So, like I
Okay.
said, considering it's 6 o'clock in the evening, it might be a good time for a quick snack. Alamjit,
Yeah.
so
Hmm.
which one would you choose?
Okay. Well, I know little science, but I know that the one on the right, which is more ripe, is healthier than the
Mm-hmm.
left. So, what do you want me to go for? The look is, then I would like to have
No,
a
I'm
cleaner one.
if you were going to the market and you were buying something, like even a
Okay.
banana or like a bunch of bananas, which one do you think, even though you know the science, right? Like you said,
Yeah.
you know the science, but what would be your choice? Like when you are putting your money on the table, which one would you pick?
Yeah, the fresh ones, like the cleaner ones that are there.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
with the
So
left.
I would request the viewers can also put their comments, and then can I stop sharing this? I think everybody
Yeah,
must have seen the visual by now. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we had the
All right.
fresh ones and yeah, the other
Okay.
ones.
All
Okay.
right. Great. So great. So you tell me, what was the reason why you chose the fresh one, even though you know the science? Why did you still go with the fresh one?
They look good, and
Okay.
clean. I feel that they are, I can take them home. Yeah, that's why.
Okay. And let's say that fresh one was a set of 4 bananas or 6 bananas, right? So tell me
Mhm.
in Sweden, how much does it cost you to buy 4 or 6 bananas?
4 or 6 bananas should be around 12 kronas here. 12,
12
I think.
kroner.
Yeah.
Okay. On your regular standard of living, is that a lot of money or is that like, too less?
It's okay. No, not a lot of money. It's not too less either. It's okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay, right?
Yeah.
But still, when you are paying 12 kronas, do you see how much value you put into what looks better? And
Mm,
what your mind is also adapting to is if it looks good, it will also probably, deliver better than the other.
mm,
I can keep it on for a longer time. It will stay with me longer. Yeah.
yes.
So even
Yeah.
if it is just 12 kronas, you have put in value of what is the sustainability or, longevity of these 12 kronas. How long can I keep it? But on the other
Absolutely.
hand, had you bought the other guys, right, the ones on the right, you
Yeah.
know that within a day or two you'll have to finish it off because so I know that it's going to get cold, but it still will not last you as long as the ones that appear fresher. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
what did you make your choice based on? So though the rest of the things, play at the back of your mind, you make
Mm,
a lot of choices in life, or all of us rather across the globe make a lot of choice based on what we see, even though we
yes.
know. So if I was a banana or you were a banana, so when
Mm,
you said that I know the science behind it, a lot of people know from your CV what's the technical skill that you have within, right? But if you
right.
don't look like you have the technical skill, a lot of us get rejected. Now, this could be at a lot of places. So, if you don't look like you're knowledgeable, if you don't look like you're capable, or you don't look like you're successful, yeah. Now, the reason why I'm saying look like for everything is going to be because most people are judging you by the way of appearance, right?
Yes.
Just like we
Absolutely.
did. banana. And most of our commodities, most of our regular stuff, even in Corona times, for example, we were just buying basic groceries, and so I've put the banana because it's a bare minimal essential, right?
Yeah.
But even that at such a less price, I'm still thinking for value of money, or what do I get as value for money. So what did we do? We basically judge the banana by the peel, and we all know that you don't judge the book by the cover,
Yeah.
right? But even if we say that, we don't do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
most of us, even if we go to a bookstore, we don't judge the book by the cover, but we'll find a little corner, we turn the book around, we read the synopsis, figure it out whether it's good enough, and then we buy the book, right?
True.
Because
Yeah.
we've kind of moved to a visual, even if it's a virtual world, I think it's still a visually virtual world. So we still want to see things, believe them, at face value, and then decide whether it means, harm to me or it means good to me. And how long does it basically, or maybe let me ask you the same question again rather than giving you the answer. How long do you think it took you to decide whether it was a left set or the right set that you're going with?
Not much. Quite
Not
quick.
much?
Yeah, like
Quite,
couple of
right?
seconds. Yeah.
Yes. So if I didn't show you this picture and I asked you that, okay, you're seeing me on screen, how much time would it take for you to make a, impression about me? People usually come back and say that, it could be, 5 minutes, or it might be half an hour because I'm going to wait for you to say something. But you see, when you have seen just the banana, and the banana can't speak, unfortunately,
Yeah.
we can, but still you made your choice based on how it appears, and studies prove it takes between 3 and 7 seconds for you to make a choice like that, and you
Yeah.
make that choice about people too, right? So when
Yes.
we look at them, it just takes us 3 to 7 seconds by just looking at somebody and deciding whether it's a yes or a no. So your mind has already told you whether it's a yes or a no, whether you
Yeah.
like it or not. If I asked you that if you were that banana, and which one would you like to be, the left or the right, most people will say left. And a lot of people who believe in technologically being more equipped will say, but I need to be technically more sound as well. But
Yeah.
my opinion on this is that I wouldn't really want you to be the one on the left. I don't want you to be on the right alone by itself. Because
Yeah.
so my theory on this is that we all know that medicinally the one that is more ripe is much sweeter, more nutritious, but doesn't
Yeah.
look good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be my first choice. Even if I know that the performance is going to be better, that's not my first choice. And on the other hand, the guys on the left, now they are
Hmm.
so good to be true that on the inside there could still be disappointment if it's still not ripe enough.
True.
Right? But still I'll
True.
make that choice because I know over a period of time the experience will come, the skill will come, just like the banana will deliver over a couple of days. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
my personal preference would be to be a banana which looks good like the left guy and performs better like the right guy. So like a combination of the two. So
Yes.
that for me would be a perfect fit in terms of when I'm trying to create an impression on somebody. Now, what
Hmm.
are the components? If I may just add to that, I know my answers become too long in explanation, but if I may add to that, now usually when we see somebody, right, we say communication skills. Now, communication, most people think is the way we speak, but usually communication happens even if I don't speak. So if I'm silent, I'm still communicating through my appearance in the way that I'm dressed or I'm groomed, my body language, all of which is visual, my etiquette, and also my vocal and verbal when I'm given a chance to speak. Right. So all of these components to me will be communication skill. Or my tip is that you need to have a balance between the way you appear and then the way you speak and what you say. So there has to be like a good 80-20 balance in which 80% of that 3 seconds is going to be the way you appear. So head to toe, you need to put in more effort if you want to stand out in a crowd. So I
Wow.
hope that answers how critical it is in today's world.
Of course, you made like the topic very clear now. So what my next question would be to you is, do you think that we should keep reinventing ourselves? And what could be the indicators that we have to catch that we can change here and do things differently here?
Okay. So I would say reinvent in terms of your own personal choices and your personal tastes, because as we age or as we grow or as we progress in life, as our roles change, we want to achieve different things as different roles. So then maybe the same things that I'm wearing or the way I'm talking is not going to work for my next role. So as and when I am progressing in life, I would say my requirements or my style or my clothes or my grooming needs to get upgraded. Is that what you meant by your question, Alam?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, because we are thrown into many different situations in life. Like, sometimes you're going for some meetings, for networking. So you have to adapt, I think, to according to the situation, like the place that you're
Absolutely.
going. Because as we spoke, it creates an impression, and we want to create the best one. So
Right.
then that brings me to the topic of dressing up. So what do you think? Like, what are the factors that we need to consider when we are dressing up, like the colors, the patterns, and there are a lot of things that can make us look good. And please tell us.
Absolutely. So, a couple of things, that I would like to give your audience, say, for example, to think about as, everybody's in Sweden and I'm guessing it's going to become cold. So,
Yeah.
layering is going to come naturally. But when you're wearing your clothes, all clothing is going to be made of five, elements that we typically speak of, which is going to be, the structure that is created by the lines and the shapes in your clothes. And then there is color, and then there is the texture or the fabric that you're using, and then there is going to be patterns. So now to all of this, because this is just way too technical. Now when I'm working with an individual, I will ask questions like, what is it that they do, what role do they play, where do they want to go, what's the kind of mood that they want to be in. So these are the answers that people want to answer for themselves, like where am I going and what is it that I want people to see me as. Once you've answered that, then you choose the exact clothing that will go with it. So if I'm talking about, somebody who's into a more professional or a work environment, you may want to have clothes which give structure to your body. Because when you have something that creates structure, you appear to be a little more firm. You also appear to be a little more in control of what you're saying or what you're doing. So what will give this, an edge over others is something that is more tailored in terms of it has collars. It may be something that is full sleeves or to maybe maximum 3/4 sleeves. As it gets cold, of course, you layer. And let me tell you, when you layer up, it is definitely going to make you look a little more sharper. And at the same time, it might also make you look a little more intimidating. And for that, I will just give your viewers a little demo. So you see what I'm wearing right now. A lot of people might have just thought of me as well as somebody who, could be very intimidating. But the minute I take this off, so if you see, if I just take my jacket off and then, you can see a little more sleeve on what I'm wearing, it automatically makes me a little more approachable. So you'll see, when my skin is showing a little more, I become more approachable. So what you want to remember is, in terms of clothes being more formal, if you are a professional, you need to have more structure. In terms of colors, you can wear something that is darker and duller if you want to have visually, your appearance needs to be more official, more credible, more authoritative maybe, or more intimidating. If you're in those kind of roles, you may want to adopt clothing which is in darker, duller colors. Typically go for blacks, whites, grays, navies, khakis, or maybe even browns. Now that it is winter, depending on the colors that are in Sweden in fashion, you could, if you're also looking at adding a little bit of color, olive greens, burgundies, rust, all of these colors will also work beautifully as neutral colors in your wardrobe. Preferably always keep a strong dark light contrast around your face. What I mean by that is, when you have a lighter or a brighter color around your face, the person who's looking at you, their attention will almost always go to the color before they even see you. So if you put a brighter color anywhere below the belt on the body, their attention kind of shifts away from your face. So if you want people to hold their attention on your face, you want to have them hold attention on you for longer, put a nice bright color, anywhere around your face. Now this you could do through colors on your clothes, through any kind of patterns that you're using, or, for that matter, you could also do that with makeup. Women could wear accessories, they could wear makeup, and they could get attention to their face. Talking about textures, now you could have something that is again a firmer texture. So a lot of our formal wear at work is firm. Now if you see my
Yeah.
scarf, now you see how this is very pliable. Yeah, so it doesn't hold its shape, it'll just fall wherever I drop it, it's just going to fall. Now if I wear a blouse of this, I'm going to appear very soft. So you'll see right now I might be appearing very soft, and if I just put it all over, I suddenly become more feminine, much more softer,
Yeah.
right? This
Yes.
just adds much more softness. If I kind of show you my neckline a little more, everybody will find it even more comfortable because now I look more approachable. So the rule is anything that is layered is going to make you look slightly higher in terms of credibility, authority. If you show more skin, you will become more approachable. Now, when I say show more skin, even in the summer months, people think shorts, but even showing your feet in open toed sandals or showing your neck, even this much, you see what it does. So, when I'm here to when I'm here, this becomes more comfortable, more relaxed, more approachable. So,
Yeah.
skin show. Again, lesser design details. You don't want something that's too busy because that distracts from you. So, my favorite things to tell maybe my clients or groups is when you're wearing clothes, take a good look at yourself in the mirror and ensure that you are wearing the color, you are wearing the pattern, and it shouldn't be the other way around that the color is wearing you or the pattern is wearing you. Because what happens is when the color or the pattern wears you, the attention goes to those things. It doesn't come back to your face. But in any situation, whether you are in a social setup, whether you are in a professional setup, you want people to look at you. So what you basically want is that your clothes should help you to get attention on you, if you know what I mean. Yeah. The other thing that I'll show you now, when I'm saying, color has a lot of power in terms of getting the attention. Right now, I'm doing something that is, just a black and white, which is a more sort of, I would say, a very basic color, but it is, something that is very professional. But the minute I bring color on my face, now this just suddenly makes me more vibrant. But also at the same time, it might be something that I'll use as somebody who's more creative. I may not want to wear this, in a very stereotypical environment, which is corporate or formal. At the same time, the more I play with, let's say patterns, now this is going to make me look even more playful, and I might look very creative, very style oriented with all of this. So depending again on, like I said, what your profession demands, you could really think of what are the things that you want to wear, what is the message that I really want to create for people, and then accordingly you should dress. Does that answer your question? Can I
Wow.
quickly say something for men as well?
Yes, for men, I'm sure they also want some tips. But these were amazing tips, Dipti. They were like amazing.
I
Thanks for
think
all the info that you're
you're
giving.
welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. So I think even for men, the same rules, would apply. That when I'm using, let's say, color, and because we have paucity of time on the show, your body shape plays a very important role when it comes to you dressing up. So where do I put color on my body? Really depends on my body shape. Again, what works for me and what works for Alam may be two different things. The same, styling may not work for everybody. So that is something that maybe we can do another time as to some kind of body shape recommendations. But for men, if I show you these two options, you'll automatically see now this one darker color. In terms of pattern, it is again something as a tie. It's much more firmer. It has a little bit of geometric pattern, if you can see up close on the screen. Yeah. And this appears to be more formal to formal dressy. Now if you look at this one, on the contrary, how do I show it to you? Can you see it, Alam? This one, is this, I hope this is visible for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah, we can see it. It's floral.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is a floral pattern, again brighter, vibrant colors. Instantly when you look at this tie, your mind has already told you that, oh, this maybe I can't wear it to work, because it has the kind of message that it communicates, because all clothes and accessories are going to communicate a message, and that there is a mood and atmosphere where you are going to adapt to this or use this as an accessory for that particular role. So now this second tie, the blue tie, you kind of know that it's not going to work in a very professional environment. Maybe to someone's wedding, maybe to an event, I could definitely wear it. So the kind of questions that I would recommend everybody to ask themselves before they go. And another tip, if I may give, if you want to save a little bit of your time early in the morning, because I'm pretty sure all of us are built in a way we love to shop, and we've got so much stuff going on in our wardrobes, but every morning we still have nothing to wear. We are struggling with what to wear every single morning because of lack of planning in the wardrobe. So what you need to do every night before you go to sleep is plan the outfit for the next day. How would you do that? Is you're going to look at where you're going, what you're going to do, who's going to be there, what is the message that you want to communicate, what are the kind of clothes that will help you communicate that message, and then put them on a hanger, put your accessories, shoes, bag, everything ready the night before, and you will see the next morning you're not struggling. So you will have those 5 or 10 extra minutes, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of mothers also, like Alamjeet, who are struggling to kind of get things sorted, even if you're working virtually, because there is now the whole family at home, so you have to take care of them, and sometimes there's so much running around in the mornings to fix breakfast or lunch that you have less time to give yourself in terms of what to decide to wear. So if you do that a night prior, you'll have additional 5 or 10 minutes. And I really know a lot of parents who love to sleep in those extra 10 minutes that they get with this activity that I'm suggesting here. So I hope that helps a lot of people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Good tips, and you definitely have understood our lifestyle. So good to plan in advance, and for all
Hmm.
you know, we will come up with good ideas, when we have enough time to do so.
Right.
So, my next, we have just 5 minutes more, but I would really like to know more about, body language that we need to use, like, when we are networking for interviews, maybe. Now I have dressed up and, everything is fine, but how do I show up? That's also very important.
Okay.
So, any tips on, good body language?
Sure. So I think the first one that begins is having, square shoulders. So a lot of us, because now whether we are working from home or even when we were in the office, you'll see either we are like this on our phones consistently or we are like this on our laptops. Now, over a period of time, what has happened is our bodies adapted to, having rounded shoulders. So when you're meeting somebody, the only thing that you want to remember is in order to appear confident and also to be able to get noticed, you need to be somebody who holds their posture very well. So when you're standing, make sure that, if I keep my hand here, you'll see right now I'm rounding my shoulders, but this really is my shoulders going back. Now, whether it is men or women, you want to keep your chest in. This will be a good practice, perhaps, that you keep your hand here. Every day, practice this for yourself. You take a deep breath in, you push your shoulders back, and you ensure that your chest is in. You can't have your chest out, shoulders back, and hold your stomach in a little bit. And then you stand erect, stand tall in between people. Then you also practice at home the tone of your voice. Sometimes we may seem very confident, but we have a voice which is not getting adjusted to the personality. So that will be another thing, because your thoughts, your body language gives rise to your thoughts, or your thoughts will give rise to your body language. It's a cycle. So you want to ensure that both is connected, and like I always say, you need to have your mind connected to your tongue. So then how you're thinking and feeling on the inside, your body behaves in the right kind of manner, and the words also come out right in the way they should. Now, with COVID, I know that handshakes are becoming redundant, or they might. So even if we don't do handshakes, eye contact, I think, and smiling, because that smile, when it's genuine, you can still see it through masks, because it will travel to your eyes and you will see a lot of laugh lines getting created here. So make sure that behind the mask also you're genuinely smiling at people and you're making eye contact, because that is one thing that people really appreciate no matter where you are in the world. Because if you look away from people, they're going to feel ignored. So that is another thing where, if you're going to look away from people, if you're in an interview, because Alam asked me, if you're going to look away from the interviewer, you might also be perceived as somebody who's either negative, not prepared, or nervous, either or. And in important meetings and situations, I would recommend not to, carry an extra pen or a book that you're going to fidget with, because when you fidget, your entire body tends to shake. And even if you are someone who's nervous and you're shaking your feet under the table, your mind kind of controls your feet very, very limited, because the further away any body part is from your mind, the less amount of control your mind has naturally on it. So if you practice all of these things at home before you really, step into an actual interview or a networking scenario, you're going to tell yourself or be consciously aware that you are shaking, or, practice this in front of the mirror. To me, if I could sum this whole thing up, image or, impression management is about being self-aware and also being aware of, your surroundings. So even etiquette, for that matter, people perceive etiquette to be, something that we are going to do to impress people. But I would say your etiquette kind of puts people at ease. It also shows them that you respect them, you respect yourself enough. But at the same time, it is also making people comfortable around you. So if you're aware consciously of what you're doing, what you're wearing, what's the kind of message it is sending, what your body is doing, are you smiling, not smiling, all of that kind of, that awareness kind of creates a beautiful impact on the people. and then mindfully, if you're talking and it's making sense and your tone of voice is correct, all of that together is going to project, and you'll be surprised, all of that only when you've practiced or rehearsed and you're self-aware will create a positive impact in 3 seconds. Because no matter how good you are after those 7 seconds, people usually don't let go of what they thought and felt about you in the first 3 to 7 seconds. That always remains with them. And unfortunately, as we all know, the formula with negative is that negative always has a tendency to stay longer. So you definitely don't want to create anything that's a negative impact, because that's going to, not go off people's minds.
True, true.
Yeah.
Well said, well said. So, Dipti, we have almost completed our time of on the show, but I would like to really ask you, as you run this company, Persona Stars, and you do a lot of soft skills. Just briefly, can you tell you about it? Like, what I know you do a lot of other things also. Your whole profile is very huge, but I would like to just understand on the soft skill part. So
Sure.
please tell us more.
So, the way it is perceived, again, there's a lot of stereotyping in terms of even image consulting for that matter. People think it is a soft skill, and I would agree to that. Anything that's not a technical or a hard skill, something that helps you communicate with people, whether it is your interpersonal skills, whether it is your communication skills overall, whether it is your time and stress management, whether you want to set goals and you want to achieve them, or whether you want to get better at motivating yourself and others or your teams, or it's leadership for that matter, or you want to negotiate, get better at your sales, or how to ask and demand for the price that you think you're worth of. All of these things are something that are not taught to us technically, and these are finer nuances of an individual's personality, whether or not they are going to cope up with that and get ahead, or whether they are going to shy away and they are going to stay back even if they have technical knowledge. So I think soft skills, all of this that I offer, is in a way it is a softer element that can help you get yourself presentable, maybe look more polished, and maybe look more technically sound. You may be technically sound, but soft skills will help you look like you're more polished and more technically sound. So all of this, the list that I mentioned and many more, is what I do cover under soft skills for individuals and for companies.
Thank you, Dipti. We would now like to have you again back on the show so we can discuss more in length. I know you
So
have so much to share. So for today, thank you so much, and we will get one show again organized with you very soon, so our viewers
sure.
can have more inputs from you. So thank you so much for today. Have a good day.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Alam, and thanks for having me on the show. I
Thank
hope
you.
everybody had a great Diwali, and wishing everyone a good night. And hope they all stay safe with the COVID bit.
Oh, yeah, the numbers. Yes. You also stay safe. Have a good night. Thank you again for today.
Thank you so
See
much.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
So that was Dipti Dange giving us such good tips. I hope you could take many of them. I will myself. I have learned a lot today. And next week we have Sumantra Barua who is going to be with us, and we will be talking about the future of automobiles. This is going to be very interesting for men and women as the change in the automobile sector is happening rapidly now. So stay with us. See you again next week on the other side. Till then, hope you had a great Diwali and keep enjoying. Have a good time. Bye for now.